Hey Alex, how's it going? I just recorded a 10-minute long video talking about everything, answering all your questions and so on and so forth. I realized 10 minutes is a bit too long to make you watch that, so here's a shorter version. I get being inspired by siblings for sure. I've got the talent code because I had 3, now only 2, Audible credits left, and with every credit you can get an Audible book, so I have an audiobook of the talent code now. Hey! being subscribed to Audible is actually a good thing. I'm gonna because I'm gonna inevitably have to read all of these things, because I feel bad about not having these books and not reading them. That's so ridiculous, but definitely good for me. So I'm glad I did this. What's Closet's project, and how did I get to work with Closet? So how I got to work with Closet, first of all, was just I kind of was at his office hours, not really his office hours, but I got into his office like 2-3 times, we got into a conversation, and a very interesting conversation about complex networks, which happens to be kind of his area of expertise, I guess. He ended up lending me a book, and we just talked about a lot of shit, and honestly in that whole conversation I was trying my ass off to build as much rapport as possible. I was pretty much just matching all of his movements, but in a subtle way, of course. If he would cross his legs, I would wait to make a point and then cross my legs, and at the same time kind of sort of move in a similar way, just to kind of get a vibe and really get into the conversation. And it was a crazy cool conversation to have, and I was super happy that he was lending me a book. I was like, fuck yeah, this is dope. And at the same time, I was also talking with not at the same time, but around the same period of time, I was in talk with another professor of mine, who also has a research lab, and I wanted to work for him over the summer, and I was gonna do that actually, and so I was gonna have that, but turns out that then I was actually Shreya and I were high when this happened, and and I just remember seeing an email on my phone while high and just being Aaron Closet, and it's saying so I recently bumped into Ben Shapiro, who's the researcher that I was gonna work for in the lab, not the Ben Shapiro, of course, and you came up in our conversation. Apparently you showed interest in both of our research groups, and so blah 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 blah. Essentially was saying decide which group you want to join, mine or his, and I was I read this and I was wait, is this a good thing or a bad thing? Are they mad at me? What's going on? It was crazy. I was high too, but of course I didn't respond while high. Fucking hell no. But I ended up deciding to join his. I didn't know that I had the opportunity to do that, but then it all opened up and I was sure, this is fucking dope. It's Aaron Closet. That's insane. He's a really respected researcher, and so it's awesome. I felt a little bit bad because Thomas was just he kept on telling me about how he wanted to join his research and so on. He wanted to do exactly that sort of thing. I was dude, I'm sorry. I somehow ended up in this place, and he's working at NCAR, and I was but he seems to be totally chill with it. I don't know. It was just absolutely crazy at the time. Of course, now things have settled a little bit. What the actual project is that I'm working on is called ICON, Index of Complex Networks. Essentially, we index all data sets. We don't host them, we index them. And data sets for graphs, for networks, right? For complex networks. Wow. And this is so that when researchers create an algorithm, a lot of the times they analyze their own algorithm based on specific data sets that make their algorithm look really good. But now with ICON, data is so easily attainable that it's blasphemous for you not to try a bunch of other different data sets instead of just that one you handpicked. And so that's kind of the Closet's motivator for doing it. It's a really petty. When he was describing it to me, he's yeah, I mean it's a really petty cause, and I was just this just totally sounds that just fits. And so it was really cool. I was really glad that to be part of that. It was just amazing. It's not that I didn't mean to get the idea across that it's not fun to work at that. It's just really difficult. This is because what I have to do is I have to look through research papers, get the data sets if they have them public, and then I need to figure out like how they're like how they have the data set set up, and that just takes some time most of the time. And then I have to just count how many nodes and how many edges. Just write like a little Python script and that'll do it for me. That's fine. But most of the time, again, it's not, the data is not public, so I have to write an email. So I have to make sure that the email is nice, so that the researchers I'm writing the email to will actually respond in a good way. And so in order to do that, I have to read a little bit through the research paper, and it's really hard to stay focused on exactly the task that you have to do, because the research papers are most of the time quite interesting, and I kind of get lost in them sometimes. And so it's really hard to like just stay focused and just do the things that you need to do so that I can be more efficient. Which is like, you're working for Aaron Closet, the whole idea is to be results oriented. Like, that's really I want to show a high level of competency for him, so that I can continue working for him, because I get $15 an hour, an hour, yeah, and so I get paid really well. But again, it's really difficult. And he definitely like thinks I'm not doing as much as I could be doing, and so what makes it so difficult is trying to optimize how fast I'm doing everything, but still having a quality of work, and that's why it's difficult. I do value the work though. Again, it's mad interesting. Like the other day, I was looking through a research paper that essentially was saying that in the future, there's definitely a chance that pretty much the founder of sociology, his vision was that we should be able to map like social interactions kind of the way we map like physics interactions. Like, if two objects kind of collide, we can like calculate, I don't know, the force at which they hit each other, and like how far they're gonna like each get hit back, and so on and so forth, with momentum, and just F equals ma, and so on and so forth. And the paper was predicting that we might be able to do this. Due to computers, we might be able to do this for social interactions as well, which is really interesting. So from there, it would completely revolutionize the field of sociology, which is pretty nuts. Like, it's pretty interesting, and so on and so forth. It's good stuff. It's really, I love that. You also asked me the question: is League of Legends work? I don't think it's work. There are parts of it that are, you have to push through some hard parts. And really grind out a champion to get good at them. But then once you're good at them, you have another, perspective of the game, another way to, just really understand the game, and so on and so forth. It's just, it can be work, but like, it's really not. But will it ever be in the future? I can see it being work in the future. But it's always like, I don't ever see myself thinking of it as I have to do this kind of work. It's really more like I get to do this work, and that's pro gaming. Like, that's kind of the whole idea behind it. But it's not going to be easy by any means. So yeah, that's kind of everything. Managed to only scrape 2 minutes. Well, I guess it's better than nothing. 8 minutes here. My question to you is really just simple. Like, how was your Thanksgiving, man? What have you been up to? Are you grateful? What were you grateful for? Tell me about that. All right. See you tomorrow.